This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Coinbase. The last time I did a video on Coinbase was back on June 25th, so I have about a month's worth of price action to discuss. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. Also, thank you to those who already subscribed and like my videos, it means a lot. Just a reminder that I have no positions in this company, so I'll give an unbiased viewpoint. We will start at the technical analysis by going over what I see on the daily chart and potential price targets. Then we will wrap it up by looking at the long-term pattern on the weekly chart. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put a vertical line where I left off, which was on June 25th. So everything after that I will be discussing and going into detail. So before I add my drawing tools, I'm going to describe the EMA. So the EMA is pointing down here, so that means it's a downtrend most likely, and the EMA is pretty flat here, so that means we're in a range. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the drawing tools on, the range and the channel that I described earlier. So this is the channel that's working itself way down. It's not in play right now because we're in this range, but the channel was in play because look how many bounces we got on the lower side, about 3 touches, and then I dragged it up, and then we get a bounce right, then we get a bounce on the lower side, and then we get about 4 to 5, 6 bars hanging on to the resistance side before the channel gave way and the price formed a new pattern, this range pattern right here. So this is the lows of the range. That's why we keep on bouncing there, the 213 level, and this is the highs of the range, the 254 level. So it looks like where I left off, price went up a little bit and made a double test of the breakout at the 254 level. And over here was a breakout because there was a gap over here and price did not come back to test it. So now it tested it twice and it continued lower and then bounced at the support line, which made a triple test at this low. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that gap I was talking about. So there's a gap right here. There's no price action in between the space. So price likes to fill in those gaps. And it pretty much just wicked up to fill it and it sold off. It came back inside the range. So what we're currently doing right now is just moving back and forth inside of this range, and we're waiting to break out. So that's why we're getting this like little congestion and little range. Price bars are stacking up next to each other, so that means we're in a congestion. The EMA is pretty flat. We're at the mid line of the range. So it's just really nothing going on, nothing like what happened previously here where we're moving downwards. So sooner than later we are going to break out of the range, and if we were to move out, these are the potential price targets. So if we break up to the upside, this is going to be the target right here. Go ahead and put a horizontal line for you guys. So about like 298 level, the $300 level. Here you go. Here's the horizontal line, and if I were to do a percentage gain from now on, that would be about a 26% gain. However, I don't see us breaking up to the upside. We potentially could just a little bit to trap in the longs before continuing down, because once they trap in the longs, they're going to use all their buy stops, the sell stops to like have fuel for the fire, the rally downwards. And so if I were to do a measured move on the lower side of the range, if we break out, which is most likely, like I said, we could break out the high side first before continuing lower, but most likely we're probably going to continue lower. That's what I mean. So this would be the 171 level, and I'll put a horizontal line here as well. And then I'll give you guys the percentage loss or the drop of price, and it looks like it's about a 26% loss. However, that's not the only measured move I like to use. We can also use the legs of the move right here. This was one leg down, and then we made another leg down right here. This was one, and then we made two, and now we had a correction, and then that could be the center of the pattern. So if I just drag this over, that is also a potential target, this 126 level. However, the first one we're probably going to reach is the 172 level. However, let's just say we do reach this 126 level, that would be a 46% drop. So in summary, the bias is down because the prevailing trend was down and we are going sideways. So that could be just a continuation pattern for lower lows. However, in the near term, what we're currently doing is just going back and forth inside this range. So we're just gonna have to wait and see until it breaks out of it. So this is the support level, the 213 level, and the resistance level is 255 level. So expect bounces in between those levels. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the weekly chart after I move all this. There's not much to see on the weekly chart, but I'll just show you what it looks like. So this is what I meant when I said there's not a lot of price action on the weekly chart, because Coinbase just IPO'd this year, looks like back in April. So this is all there is for the weekly chart. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the channel that I drew on the daily chart and the range. So this was the channel. So the daily chart just shows a more detailed version of the price action, but on the weekly it just looks like a bunch of red bars moving down, and here it just looks like we're just going sideways. The bars are kind of like just stacking up inside of each other. Over here it's moving down, like you can see the bars drop. Over here we're just moving sideways. It's like inside of the other bar, or the really small. So this is the range right here. Looks like it's about right there, and this is the highs. So that's pretty much it for the weekly chart. Now if I go back to the daily chart, I'm going to keep the same lines of the channel and the range, and you're going to see how good it fits. So a really good chart reader only needs one chart, because you could see the short-term and long-term pattern within a single chart, which we'll show you right here. So this is the daily chart. It's the same lines. See how it fits. Obviously the range fits really nicely. However, the downtrend could be a little adjusted, because there's more price action. So about right there was a small adjustment. So there you have it. So I gave you guys an update on Coinbase from where I left off and what will probably happen in the future, and if it does make a move out to the upside or downside, I give you guys the potential targets. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel, since you might be surprised on what you could learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel, since we want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time. Bye.